We have so many religious callers. I am kind of blown away. I think I'm going to first. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. Setuf in Spain. You're live with Eric. How are you doing, man?
Hi, Eric. I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I am interested in, I know that you've called in a couple of times. I know some people have gotten frustrated, but I think that us disagreeing with each other and still not name calling has been really, really good. And I kind of like that. So I'm going to go with it. What did you want to talk about today?
Nice. So thanks for taking my call. Well, not sure if you will or not. Anyway, I want to talk or hear your views on whether or not bestiality is moral or not. Your own personal views.
Sure. So quick question. Usually when I talk to religious people about morality, the question is usually just to try and invalidate whether or not I can be a moral person. Is it going to go down that path? Because if it is, then we don't really need to, we can do away with the pretense.
Which path are you asking me? I'm not quite sure.
Sure. Is the bestiality question specifically what you want to talk about it, or is this just an entryway into talking about morality?
A bit of both. I want to really hear your views on whether or not bestiality is moral.
Sure.
And then.
Yeah, I don't think that animals. I was going to say I don't think that animals can consent, and because of that, I think that bestiality is immoral.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that's quite clear. So you do give animals some moral consideration.
I'm sorry.
So you do give non-human animals moral consideration?
To a degree. I view them differently from humans, and I know that there's a lot of internal struggle going on there that I'm still kind of working through, so I'm not going to be able to give you a lot of definitive stuff on that particularly.
Yeah.
But I do think that we afford animals protections. It's not rights specifically, but it is protections. And so there's a level of moral consideration, not specifically in how they behave, but in how we should behave toward them.
I totally agree with that, actually, cool. Eric. So I just want to ask you I just want to check out your consistency with this view. Let's say,
go ahead.
If that's fine with you. I mean, if you're open to that.
Yeah, I mean, we can try. If it goes into veganism, I would ask you to call in with that topic on a week when we're specifically handling veganism, because it can blow out of proportion and every call becomes veganism and then it turns into talk vegan. So we're doing our best to limit it. But I'm trying to get ahead of you, and that's not fair. What specifically about it did you want to talk about?
So, yeah, I don't like to use the term veganism. Actually, I like to use animal rights. And I would just like to ask you, if you say it's immoral to have sex with an animal without its consent, would you accept any justification for a person doing that? Let's say it was a traditional thing, or they really got enjoyment out of it, or something like that. Would you see that as a justification to continue with such acts?
This is definitely a veganism call. So again, I'm against bestiality because animals cannot consent. At least that's how I understand it. That's how I view it. And that's what I have around that. So if it's specifically veganism you want to talk about, it's going to need to be a call for another time. And I'm not trying to shunt you off in a different direction because, I don't want to talk about it, but specifically for the reasons I gave. Did you instead want to talk about morality in particular? Or did you want to keep on the veganism thing? Because I can't really go into the veganism direction today.
Okay, so I did want to talk about morality, and animal rights is about morality, but I don't want to push it. So I just want to ask you one final question before you let me go.
Sure. What's up?
In in the same way that an animal cannot consent to sex with a human, can an animal consent to have its head cut off in a slaughterhouse for our enjoyment?
No.
So that's where I will leave it.
No, Setuf, I don't think so. And
so then
that
it would be moral to send them there.
Yeah, it creates a lot of cognitive dissonance for me. And it's something that I'm struggling with. And it's something that I'm giving a lot of thought to. But I am fine with saying that someone who made that decision and decided to arc their life in that direction because of that may be on stronger moral grounding than me. And that's really uncomfortable. But I don't want to lie about it, you know? Setuf, I don't want to cause people to, think that you need to be, strident in your views on everything, even when you're not entirely sure. I'd rather be a little confused and do that openly so people can feel that it's okay to explore those places. That's probably not super helpful, but that's the best I got for you.
That was brilliant, Eric. Thank you so much for the respectful and very honest conversation.
I thank you for calling in, and thank you for respecting that veganism can't really be the topic that we go into because all the reasons I already gave. But take care of yourself.
Yeah. You too, Eric. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay. How about that? I can't wait to see if I've lost half of my patrons and subscribers. But geez, what else am I going to say, right? If I'm going to engage with this honestly, but then again, maybe I could wind up going vegan in the future. I mean, I felt like there was a moral issue around the way that I viewed polyamory. And it took me years and years of thinking about it before I became comfortable in trying it. And I'm happy where I'm at. So anyway,